was going to go up here and have a look at the fields. You can see on this field there have been a lot of weeds. We have treated it. I believe it is fully, this is fully fertilized and herbicided. So is this one. This one wasn't yet. So that's the one. I want to check the grass too. It doesn't look like it's growing yet. No, that one's not growing yet. So that's all good. Now one thing I can do even while I'm doing, when I add the precision farming mod to this playthrough, a bit, possibly, it is what it is.
This is the like gobs of it.
Yeah.
Did you get it back or
Yeah.
too much remember?
Yes. Huh? No. So yeah, so we'll add the precision farming. I can be planting oilseed radish in the ground because it's not dependent on the soil, and I won't be ploughing it in until after we've sampled all the soil on the field. So I'll be doing sampling while the oilseed radish is planted or growing, and then when we cultivate that in, it will automatically apply a level of fertilizer, alter the nitrate content of the field. Definitely a good bale spike, since we are a square bale farm. Yeah, I must admit, from a real life perspective, I was completely, I kind of thought that farmers harvested in the fall and then they all went home until spring. And it's only since basically playing Farm Sim and figuring out if you can get your field prep done in the fall, leaves a lot less time used to do that. Plus you're actually protecting your soil. Okay. I'm going to hold off planting the sunflowers today, so I think as far as farm stuff is done, we are pretty much done for the day. I'm going to speed up time and we're basically going to race through to the evening. Oh, actually, we're going to check crop values for, I believe it's sunflowers tomorrow. Might be the best day. See, the problem is we did that with, I think it was oats, and oats had a higher predicted sale value on day 4 of winter, and then it turned out, well, actually 3. The other stuff we have to sell is wool. Wool will peak day 5 of spring, so that's when we'll look to move it. Oh, speaking of, I probably should be. Hi, doggy. Checking the wool state, because we are producing a metric ton of the stuff. I should probably move those 2 crates before we get in trouble. Yeah, this is another thing. I could really do with another front loader tractor. Telehandler. Okay, put that on. Well, at least for the wool, I don't have to do any crazy manoeuvring to scoop those pallets up. But if I don't do this now, there will be sometime around 2 o'clock in the morning that I will not. I'll start getting the messages, and because I'll be sleeping, that won't be a good thing. So that a little. Very, very carefully. Yeah. That front pallet is just hanging off the end of these forks. There we go. That's done. Yeah. We don't really want to crash into the wall. Squeak through there. At least that's a job the Fent can do, because even with its bad turn radius, dropping that off uses that button. Yay. We'll put the bucket back on because, well, at this point I actually need pallet forks and buckets in almost equal proportions. I'm sure the sheep's cleanliness is really sad right now. That's okay. As I said, we'll deal with that in the morning. I was kind of undecided. I probably will get a case if I get another tractor, because I'm fairly certain never featured a case except the Pros 7210 on Arthur's farm. We need to speed up time. We'll run through to about 8. Okay, sleep for 12 hours might be good. Let's push the right button. because it's not like I need to be awake early in the morning. Loan interest's only 9.29. That's not too bad. I'm going to tab to. That's a good place to tab. Have some food. Okay, well, it's a nice morning. The sun's up again. It's 8:30. The weeds are terrible. Still not sure that crop's grown any. That has, though maybe not since yesterday. Okay. We need to get those fields planted. Temperatures down 5 degrees on the ground. So we're not doing that. So we do want to sell the sunflowers today. See, sunflower prices dropped since last year, but it's still better than it was. The cleanliness is down to 66%. We will have to do something about that. We're up to 330 sheep. Oh my goodness. That is freaking awesome. Where's our heavy sheep? There's our heavy sheep. Oh, we still have some pregnant sheep. I was estimating that we would end up with about 350 at the end of this breeding season. And there's some more at the bottom. Oh yeah. We're going to end up with a few more today as well. Nice, that is awesome. That does mean, oh, we're using 400,000 litres of hay per year. That's a lot of hay. And freak. Okay. I'm going to bother putting the bucket back on this now. There will be rain soon. And we'll drop the bucket there. I could add a broom mod and have the I could get the cleaner as well. I don't have that added. The issue is that cleanliness affects production, and this is when sheep are productive. So I do kind of want as much wool out of this as possible, because frankly sheep don't make enough wool anymore, and it does beg the question, are they really really cost effective? This is the point in the year where we make the wool until the end of late spring. As soon as summer starts, there is no more wool production. But they're still eating me out of house and home when it comes to the amount of hay they're consuming. So for the rest of the year, I tend not to worry about the cleanliness. I mean, the grass will decay after midnight because it is grass. I'm just going to leave that in here, because really we're just going to end up with a ton more of that. And we are going to check on store prices for sunflowers. That's Empire. I don't remember. That's Empire. we can get a big truck up there. So, we will. Ooh. Where is the semi-trailer? I think I put it back in this shed here. Yep. Well, this will be a good injection of cash. I think we only had the one field of sunflowers last year. But that is more than a load for this truck. We can check that this is just have the sunflowers, and we have truck and a half. Just over. Still 120,000 money. I don't think that's going to pay off the loan. Since the loan is costing us about £1 grand a day, we will pay down as much as we can. Lots and lots of the weeds in that field. So this is the last year I'm planning to cut the field on our right. We'll be moving some sheep down there next winter. Well, maybe. Depends on how many male sheep we have. Oops, that was the wrong button. Back inside because it is a little bit easier to do it this way. Oh, slow traffic. So it was suggested by the weather that we would get rain and snow here this weekend. But it looks like we are just getting rain. Not going to be cold enough for the snow. And yes, I just loaded, just ignored the sign that said no heavy vehicles. I think I justified it saying there is probably a very old bridge over a small river somewhere down this lane, which precludes heavy vehicles from coming down here, which also precludes the lane is tight enough that they wouldn't be able to turn around, so you would be backing up for 5 miles. So they just say, don't bring your heavy trucks down this road, but since we're just coming here and we haven't crossed a river, I'm saying we can bring this truck here. Special dispensation for local farmers. Okay, let's get that emptied. make, getting on for about 80,000, 85, 70. Still better than a kick in the mouth, so that's fine. I always do that. That is an awesome obstacle for people who are driving trucks this big. So we're going to get the rest of it, but that has definitely given us a nice injection of cash. So many weeds on this field. They all grew over winter, so I think that was the other mod that Seasons made to weeds, is weeds don't grow during the winter months. Good. And there's going to be less of them. They're going to be less frequent. And then the field in front of us will be planted with sunflowers this year. And then next year we'll be replanting it with grass, because if we move sheep into that other field, then we're going to lose a lot of her grass income. Looking really good from this distance. Okay. Pick up the second load. Temperature's still 5. Well, it is what it is. Now the thing is I can actually plant the sunflowers right now. I mean, the ground is not frozen, so the planter will work at 5 degrees. The seed will remain dormant until temperatures reach 7. However, the issue is that and actually that's not a problem. Well, if the issue is if the temperatures go above 7 degrees and then overnight that day they drop below 7 degrees, we could end up with the crop germinating but then some of it getting killed. So we kind of want to avoid that. So this is almost 40 times 60, so this is probably another 50,000. Maybe a little less, maybe 48, 49. Don't see anyone coming that way. Nobody close this way. Wow, we got a clear road. Nice. Actually use the speed of the truck. Possibly considering getting a weeder, because weeders do not interfere with the application of fertilizer. And on grass fields I need to apply fertiliser twice to get the best yield. And unfortunately when you do that you can't put down herbicide, so the weeds just carry on producing. And the only time you can really deal with the weeds is in the winter. If you get a layer of fertiliser down before the grass dies over the winter months, then you will get 2 growth stages in spring in which you can get the last stage of fertiliser plus a stage of herbicide. 56, that's actually more than I thought we were going to get, so that's absolutely awesome. We have 101,000, that's enough money for the farm to run with, at least for now. Full lock the other way, and I'm thinking this truck has the turn radius to do that. Yes. So that is crop sales from last year done. I'll take this back to the farm, and I might come in by the sawmill since I want to drop the semi-trailer off. But the weeds on that field are way too far gone for a weeder right now. And with the way weeds grow in seasons, I probably don't need any of the in-game weeders, because they are huge. And it's not like you're doing the entire field. It's a patchwork thing. I left that gate open. Well, I left that gate open because we're planning to plant soon. Can I get by? Ooh. Yes. And here we are. This rig not really built for farm tracks, but it is what it is. So let's get this turned around so we can park it back in its shed. Put the truck back. And I figure out which way to turn the steering wheel. Then we will check on the state of the finances. I'm thinking I could get 4 vehicles in, or 4 trailers in here if I was very, very careful, except for all the debris on the right side there. Oops. Okay, that's done. And how much wool we made in the last 10 minutes. Don't actually have to reverse this in. I could have just gone in, pulled into the sugar beet storage area, and then reversed in from that way. So this tipper I'm using basically for shipping stuff up to Hilltop stores because you can't get the semi-trailer turned around that's done. How much wool do we